Amongst the legions of hell, there is only one thing they truly fear: his true identity a mystery, his background shaped in tragedy and rage, his heart focused on his love of humanity. This unstoppable force is the only thing keeping the universe from total annihilation. His name? He's gone by many. Flynn, Doom Guy, Doom itself, but the demons of hell prefer to call him Doomslayer. Welcome to the 26th episode of Drunk Powerscaling, the show where I hungoverly powerscale my favorite characters.
That was pathetic.
Although defined by tragedy, the Slayer had only one goal in mind: to rip and tear the armies of hell until it's done, even if he had to take down the devil himself to do so. And he'd of course need quite the arsenal to do all of this. This includes God himself. Well, kind of. He's an AI named Vega, who is basically just God. Vega can upgrade weapons, show detailed maps, locate items, create portals across dimensions, hack advanced security systems, and can sense and interact with distortions in reality and slightly shift the arena to suit the Slayer, even summoning resources for him. It should also be noted that the Slayer was enhanced by the Divinity Machine, granting him superhuman stats, as well as enough stamina to fight demons for eons without any rest. He can even vanquish souls potentially. Then there's the Praetor armor. Besides just enhanced durability and a hood, it allows the Slayer to absorb Argent energy to buff his stats, said energy being made from souls. It also comes equipped with the Doomblade, thrusters, the ability to create shockwaves with a blood punch, as well as an equipment launcher that can fire grenades, ice bombs, and shoot fire over 1,000 degrees Celsius. Now for the good stuff. His weapons. There's his flashlight, pistols that shoot mini lasers, shotguns that can reduce sticky bombs and go full auto, super shotguns that can also shoot a chain of fire to latch onto foes or the environment, machine gun, burst rifles, vortex rifles, reapers, static cannons, grenades, grenade launchers, siphon grenades that absorb Argent energy to heal the Slayer, threat pulses that detect nearby threats, kinetic mines, Tesla rockets, teleporters, energy shields, holograms. Doom 3 has a plasma levitator, not out of the ordinary for modern Slayer, I guess. Heavy cannons that come equipped with a scope and micro missiles, rocket launchers that can fire heat-seeking missiles, chain guns that can transform into mobile turrets and contain energy shields, plasma rifles that can even stun foes and have microwave beams that can destroy spirits, lightning guns that can create electric fields, chainsaw, the hell shot which instantly deletes demons, the Gauss cannons that can pass right through organic matter, as well as the similar ballista he's got, the Unmaker, and of course, his most iconic weapon, the big fucking gun 9000. Capable of annihilating whole rooms of demons in one blast. More recently, he's picked up the Crucible, an Argent energy blade that can cut through the thickest of demons, as well as the Sentinel Hammer, weapon strong enough to stun the creator of all things. Besides weapons, there's a number of power-ups you can pick up too, like invisibility, supercharges and megaspheres that boost vitality, haste to buff speed, quadruple damage, a radiation suit that protects him from, well, radiation, 30 seconds of invulnerability, then there's the most iconic one: Berserk. Basically just lore-accurate Slayer where he rips and tears demons in one shot. Additionally, thanks to Doom Eternal's runes, he can also slow down his perception of time. Now for his resistances, there's radiation, absolute zero, poison and disease. He can even resist Argent waves, which mutate humans down to their genetic code, suggesting biological manipulation resistance. Also, since haste destroys the heart of a normal user, Slayer should be immune to mortal cardiovascular disease. See, I myself am about to have a heart attack with the amount of shit he has under his infinite belt. No, but seriously, heart failure is hereditary for me, so please stop making characters with giant arsenals like this, please, and thank you. Anyways, let's get to why you're here. How strong is the Slayer? Bear in mind before we start that you can times each feat here by 4 with the quadruple damage item. First up, he can crush any demon's head into paste no matter how large. He can punch this train down the tracks, and can casually punch these giant metal cubes. The iconic BFG is strong enough to obliterate the giant spider mastermind's head. Somehow he smashed these giant chains built to restrain the titans. Speaking of which, he once killed a titan. Oh, and to get even more metal, he beat them with his bare hands. Some titans can even lift up giant castles. Now, I had to look at some calcs to figure out the titan's sizes, and most are fairly close. Taking this big guy's size and weight into consideration, to knock over a titan of this size, you'd need to be outputting town levels of energy. There's a thing in Doom called Argent accumulators. Argent energy, or hell energy to paraphrase, is what the Crucible is made of, being one of the most potent sources of Argent energy in the lore. The accumulators produce the energy of a nuclear reactor in 12 months within mere seconds. If it sounds weird to compare Slayer's power output to batteries, he can easily absorb the power output of them, no issue. In general, he's literally stated in lore to be stronger than all of Hell's forces, which includes the Icon of Sin, the strongest of Hell's servants. His mere presence created this massive storm, and whose first defeat caused it to fall and destroy several miles of Hell. Slayer beat the Icon thanks to the Crucible, which contains enough power to provide energy for Earth for nearly a year. Also bear in mind, the Icon of Sin has consumed planets before and survived this process, which would have happened to Earth had the Slayer not been able to overpower this durability. And of course, the big one and the most debated. In the end, he defeated Davoth, the creator of everything. Davoth is directly linked to Hell itself, and the whole reason he was sealed away to begin with is because his battle with the Father would have destroyed everything he created. Hell is also a living dimension that threatens the stability of the multiverse. Not to mention, it's implied Slayer's battle with Davoth would have decided the fate of all of creation, backing up Davoth's insane power. Davoth himself states that, yeah, he's taking back what he lost if he kills the Slayer, so it's clear to me that Davoth could very likely scale directly to the cosmology, even if he only created one realm at a time, although that's kind of unclear. The Book of Seraphs also state that the only thing that can kill a primeval like Davoth is another primeval or something more powerful, just further proving, yes, the Slayer scales. Bear in mind, the multiverse is stated to be infinite in size, and Hell is also stated to be unlimited to the same degree, and over time, the Slayer's battles here were causing the multiverse to implode inward upon itself. Davoth also created the realm of Urdak. This is stated to be a higher dimension, beyond the boundaries of the universe and beyond the mortal plane, even stated to be the 6th dimension. However, this is suggested to only be due to the technology involved here. Hell, Davoth himself is suggested to not have made any other realm besides Hell and maybe Urdak, at least via his own power, instead using the engines of creation within a workshop, which channeled the powers of the Void, which is the place Davoth arrived from. The point is, even if Davoth did all this himself, he still did it by manipulating the Void. We cannot link any of the cosmology besides Hell to Davoth's personal power. So what about Davoth stating he'll undo everything? This to me comes across as an invasion more than anything, or Davoth accessing the creation technology again. But given the cosmological interpretations we've presented with, this likely does not matter since Hell is the largest place within the cosmology. It's just something I wanted to point out, that Davoth seemingly did not create Slayer's universe himself, but he still created objects higher than that. So where the hell can we place the Slayer? Well, Unity Plus makes enough sense given statements about Hell's cosmology. There's also an argument to be made about Hell being 60 or 70 as it is equal to or possibly above Urdak, but given statements by devs about how dimensions are just universes, this is very questionable. I think the safest bet, and what I personally buy into, is 5D, since Hell and Urdak being above time and space and every other dimension is still viable, and just kind of makes sense, you know? Let me know what you think. Before I get flamed, let's skedaddle over to speed. Sorry, Cap. Like with times 4 damage, with the haste item we can multiply each feat here, although the exact number is unclear. Cacodemons spit fire the Slayer has dodged, and his in-game running speed is 90 miles per hour somehow. He's ran past bullets, and as early as Doom Guy, he could outrun his own rockets. His worst enemy ever created, the Marauders, can react to any of his weaponry, including the chain gun. so Slayer should scale directly to that. He's dodged energy beams from the Makers and a laser from the Cyber Demon. He can avoid meteors from the Icon of Sin, and the Marauder can react to microwave beams. The On-Maker is also stated to straight up be light speed. Not only does this impact attack speed, but also reaction timing scaling to the Marauder. So despite some questionable arguments for cosmic speeds, I'd prefer to just cap the Slayer between sub-relativistic and light speeds. Let's wrap this up with durability.
As all things were made by my hand, so shall they be unmade, starting with you.
For one, it should be noted the guy doesn't take fall damage. If anything, the ground takes damage from him. Without armor, he can take Argent energy attacks from imps, survived exposure to radioactive material, tanked claw swipes from the Baron of Hell. He survived 3 of these explosions. In lore, he survived a temple falling on top of him. In a top 5 most raw moments from the series, he fires himself out of a cannon into a building, and for funsies, he does this twice. He can tank meteors from the Icon of Sin, and because he's just that dude, casually takes on 2.4 terawatts of power for a few seconds. He's also survived the destruction of Vega's core, which runs on that same amount of power. Impressively, he survived and escaped the destruction of Argent Tower. There's also the island level stuff from the Crucible energy. Now, the big question you may be asking yourself is, can Davov's full power equate to the Slayer's durability? It's questionable, because look, he's probably not getting hit with the full force of, say, a universe each time he's hit. But given the Slayer is not damaged by the end of the fight, and Davov realistically had no reason to hold back, it's possible. I'll leave it up for you to decide. Do we cap him at Island, or do we say he's taking full power blows from Davov? And that's that. I know the Slayer is contentious thanks to the quote lore scaling he has, but I think it's fairly simple when you break it down. I know Dark Ages is out for people with premium, but I didn't want to spoil myself. Besides, assuming it gets DLC, it's best to wait and see if any new feats are made. So with that, I hope you enjoyed. Stay safe, and as always, be excellent to each other.